Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good out there today. Thanks for tuning back in, much appreciated. And today we're going to have a conversation on how some baits basically are going downhill rapidly after being so productive for a short period of time. Sort of like came on real hot, came on real strong, guys caught tons of fish on them, and then they sort of just slowly deteriorated. Specifically, what I want to talk today is about the Whopper Plopper. I mean, there's a lot of baits like the Whopper Plopper that we've seen over the years. You know, we've seen the same thing go on with the alabamarig. You've seen certain swim baits get hot and you sort of fall off in effectiveness. But this one I want to talk about today is sort of pertinent to the season. And I've really noticed a big decline in this productivity, and that's the Whopper Plopper. So anyway, everybody knows what the Whopper Plopper is out there. The super unique bait. I mean, I can't remember the name of the person that designed this bait. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, when somebody came up with this bait, it's truly an innovative concept. I mean, it's never seen anything like it as far as what it does. When I first saw it in the water, I said, first thing that I thought, it's like, man, this thing's never going to catch a fish. And I saw it, and I fished with it actually before it became popular, and I was definitely wrong with it. So anyway, I want to talk about specifically what happens when you are dealing with a bait like a Whopper Plopper or alabamarig or anything like that. There are certain baits that come along very rarely. It's normally like a once a decade type thing that just take the bass fishing world by storm. I mean, they really do. I can think back early on, like the Sluggo had a period like that. There were certain jerk baits that had a period like that, Whopper Plopper, alabamarig, and like I said, some swim baits, that type of stuff, that really just dominated tournaments. And that's how they got famous, was through tournament competition. And specifically when you're talking about a bait like the Whopper Plopper, a lot of these baits, and the tube too, the tube was another one, but a lot of these baits like a Whopper Plopper, or these baits that went viral to speak of, they were known by a fairly large group of anglers for a long period of time, or a period of time. And it was sort of like a camaraderie that a lot of people kept these things quiet. They didn't talk about them. They fished them quietly. They didn't bring any attention to it. They cut it off their rod when they came in from the tournament. And if they did good in the tournament, they just said they caught them on a topwater or whatever. What happens is there's always somebody that basically spills the beans. Somebody will do good in a tournament on it, and they talk about it, and the next thing you know, everybody's fishing it. And that's what happened with the Whopper Plopper. That's what happened with the alabamarig, although the alabamarig, you couldn't really hide it because it was filmed and it was televised what was going on there. But a lot of the baits like the Whopper Plopper that gained notoriety on a regional basis, and then anglers started winning tournaments on it, and they started talking about it, and then everybody started throwing it. And, you know, for example, at Table Rock Lake, the last, not so much last year, but like the 3 or 4 years before that, that's all anybody threw down there. I mean, once that water temperature got warm in the summertime up until the fall, that's just what everybody had tied on. You went to the lake, and that's what you saw everybody fishing a Whopper Plopper. Same would deal with the alabamarig. In the wintertime, that's all you'd see was a big umbrella rig getting thrown out there. And what happens is, you know, bass aren't stupid. They evolve quickly. They don't make a lot of mistakes over and over again. And there's certain lures that can continually catch fish. But what has happened, like with the Whopper Plopper, its effectiveness has dropped off a cliff. There are certain situations where it's great now, and you can still catch good bags of fish on it occasionally, but it's nothing like it was 5 or 6, 7 years ago when it first came out. I mean, the difference is dramatic. And the same with the alabamarig. You know, when the alabamarig first came out, everybody was catching 20-pound bags on it. There were 30-pound bags being caught on places that never produced 30-pound bags. And now you just don't see those type of fish caught on it. It's just, the fish have gotten conditioned. They just don't bite them as good. And that's one of the things I've noticed about the Whopper Plopper. Instead of it being like this magic bait, which it truly was for a short period of time, until somebody, you know, just started talking about it, and it's become now, it's just a situational bait. It works under certain situations. Ideal conditions have to be just right. that doesn't work for a sustained period of time because the fish get conditioned to it real quick. And on the top of that, you know, when you see 150 boats and everybody's throwing this thing down the bank and it makes the same size, same sound, you know, bass just get real conditioned to it. So basically the point of this video I was wanting to get out is, you know, these viral baits, you know, lose productivity simply because people just, they want to talk about them, and they just don't keep them secret. I remember back when, let's talk about the tube a little bit. There was a period back in the early 1990s where there was a handful of us that were winning a bunch of tournaments flipping a tube. And we weren't talking about it. Nobody was talking about it. And eventually there was this one dude from Arkansas that won a tournament on the tube, and he just gave it away to everybody. And the next thing you know, everybody was flipping tubes. And over the next couple of years, the tubes lost their effectiveness. So I'm not here to like say that people should lie and not talk about what they're fishing. But the reality of the situation is these baits only stay super, super effective, this small category of baits, as long as they're kept quiet under the wings. And I've seen it, you know, over the years. You know, that's the progression that happens. It stays hot for a while. Guys get on them, you know, a small group of guys, word gets out, it gets viral. Everybody uses them. Bait companies make a ton of money, and then they sort of go down the tube a little bit. So anyway, just a quick video with that. Just wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys are doing good today. We'll check in later with another video. See you.